that your father's life is in danger!
Hi, Charlotte. Unfortunately, yes. The doctor said that he only has about a week left.
Oh, wow, I am so sorry.
Thank you for your concern. I'm sure my father will be pleased to hear this.
He is rich, right? Are you going to get a good amount of inheritance?
What?
Oh, you don't need to hide anything. Your father is rich, so he has lots of savings, right?
Why does it matter to you?
You understand that you married my son, right? I'm your mother-in-law, so it's common sense for you to listen to me.
About what?
About the inheritance. My husband didn't leave any for me, so now it's my chance.
You're talking about how it's your chance, but you're not going to even get a penny.
Listen to me. You are going to take care of Justin and I from now on, so that means that the inheritance will be mine.
Did you contact me because you wanted to ask about this and not about my dad? Are you serious?
That's because I only met him once, so why should I worry about him?
You are full of shit, Charlotte.
Excuse me. Are you trying to pick a fight with me?
What, a fight? I'm just being honest here. I'm pretty sure anyone would feel the same way.
You are so rude.
Anyways, all I'm going to say is that you won't get a penny. If you have a problem with this, why don't you talk to Justin about it?
Oh, don't be so cocky.
You're the one that's being cocky.
Oh, you know what? You're pissing me off.
Yeah, whatever. I need to go back to my dad's hospital room now, so please go talk to Justin.
Can you explain to me about the inheritance again? My mom is misunderstanding something.
Yeah, I've been getting weird texts from her. I'm not surprised she's still thinking that she's getting the inheritance.
I'm so sorry about this, Ella.
It's okay. I'm actually glad that you're not like her. And also, it's my dad's decision to choose who is getting the inheritance.
Yeah, of course. I look up to your father, and I care more about the fact that he's letting me run his business. Let's hope for his recovery. Because there's no way I can take over right now.
What's the matter with you? Didn't we promise to work things out together? I wish that my dad will get better, but make him happy taking over the company.
I agree with you. Will do.
Anyways, can you explain everything to your mom before it's too late?
When are you going to send me the inheritance? Hurry up!
Do you not know what you've done during the funeral?
Nothing?
You were laughing and cheering his death during the funeral in front of our whole family who was crying. You're a piece of shit.
Oh, come on, don't be rude.
Who's the rude one here? You know what? I don't want to see your face ever again.
Do you want Justin to divorce you?
Are you threatening me? Didn't Justin talk to you about this?
Oh, who cares about that? It's going to be a problem if you don't deposit money to my account because I have used quite a lot.
On what?
Well, I went on a shopping spree and bought a house.
A house? Are you serious?
Just deposit to my account, damn it!
Won't do, because you did something unforgivable.
Ugh, are you still pissed? Will you not be if I apologize? I am so sorry for cheering and laughing at the funeral. There, I apologized. Send it to me immediately.
I actually just donated it all to charity.
What?
We donated all of it to organizations for underprivileged children.
Charity? What are you talking about? What happened to my money?
It's not your money. Plus, didn't I say that you're not even going to get a penny?
You're joking, right?
Why would I joke about it? I talked to my dad before he passed, and he said that you won't get any.
Why did you donate without my permission? What will happen to my money then?
I told you 1,000,000 times already that you will not get any. Plus, I just said it's not your money, you self-centered old broad.
I just wanted to live peacefully after retirement. Oh, why is this happening? I'm also in debt, so I need the money.
Okay, and?
Do you not understand what I said? I'm going to get endless calls from the debt collector. They might even show up at my house. Are you enjoying making me suffer?
This is all your fault, you know. Justin just told me that he's tired of you.
Don't you guys want to help me? We're a family.
No, we're not. We talked about you, actually, and agreed to cut ties.
What?
That's good for you because you don't need to see me anymore.
How am I supposed to enjoy life from now on? I'm not getting money, plus my own son is going to cut ties with me.
Why are you asking a stranger? I really don't care how you will end up.
Excuse me, don't you love me? I'm your mother-in-law.
Do you think I can forgive a person who laughed and cheered during my dad's funeral?
I already apologized about it. Oh, I have an idea. Why don't you donate to me, too?
I'd rather use the money than donate it to you.
Please help me. Don't leave me. I'm having a hard time since my husband passed, so if you two leave me, I'm screwed.
Let me see. You talk down on me and lash out on me from the day I got married to Justin, and acting that way at my dad's funeral? I mean, who wants someone like you?
Are you really going to leave me?
Yes. Oh, we're actually going to be taking over my dad's company overseas, so we're going to be moving there.
Overseas?
Yes, so deal with everything by yourself, okay? Good luck! Bye! Since she spent too much money, she had to sell the house and ended up working a rather dangerous job. She tried to ask Justin for help but couldn't reach him, so she has to work her butt off every day. On the other hand, we're developing overseas business while doing charitable work and living peacefully. Her life is not the way it turned out to be, but this is the result of her own actions. Karma is a bitch.
Hey, Eve. I wanted to check in about those materials that I asked you to have ready by tomorrow. I just wanted to make sure that you were actually going to be finished making them in time. I see they haven't been submitted and it's already so late.
Hello, Mr. Brown. Thank you for reaching out to me outside of work hours. I'm a little confused as to what you mean by those materials for tomorrow. I thought that you knew your daughter Hillary was in charge of them.
But I told her to go and ask her supervisors for help making them if it was going to be too difficult for her to do it on her own. Do you know that she's new to the company? Are you seriously going to pretend like it's okay to leave this work undone just because it was specifically assigned to you?
I'm sorry if there's been some kind of miscommunication, Mr. Brown, but I've been checking in with Hillary every step of the way she's been doing this. And every time I've asked her if she's making progress or needs help, she always told me that things are going well. It was only today, right as I was supposed to be clocking out, that she came up to my desk and told me that she actually wasn't going to have it done on time at all. And that's when she asked me to take care of it for her. That's why I'm still at the office this late at night.
So there you go. You admit that you were slacking off doing your duties as her supervisor and failed to assess actual progress being made. Honestly, I don't know why this company ever gives these kinds of roles to women. They always let their petty interpersonal drama get in the way of everything. And then you have the gall to try and put this all on an employee that you were supposed to be keeping an eye on?
Sir, are you really trying to pin all of this on me when I'm the one working hard to make sure this all gets finished before tomorrow?
It's obvious that you were being a bad supervisor and making Hillary feel uncomfortable coming to you with this matter. It's no wonder she waited until the last minute to ask for your help in finishing it up. You really need to think about the environment you're making for our employees.
Even if that was true, the fact of the matter is that Hillary didn't ask for my help in finishing it. She gave me what she had done and told me to do the rest for her. She told me she had plans that she couldn't miss and then left the office.
And now you're trying to pin this all on my daughter just because she had plans for tonight? Who knows how long she's had this on her agenda? Hillary is still young. Do you understand that? You shouldn't be wasting her youth with busy work. Besides, it's like you said, it was time to quit for the day, And there's no reason why my Hillary should ever have to work overtime. If you're not going to do your job in making sure she gets her work done during work hours, then of course it's all going to fall back on you.
Are you serious, Mr. Brown? I told you that I checked in with Hillary over and over again.
Well, clearly you were doing something wrong, or else none of this would have happened at all. Now quit trying to blame my daughter for your screw-ups. If my daughter asks you to finish her work for her, you just nod and say, yes, ma'am. I hope you're ready to spend all night at the office.
So you really aren't going to talk to your daughter about making sure this doesn't happen again? Do I understand that right?
She has a right as an employee to refuse to work past regular hours. And as her superior in the office, you need to quit abusing your power and recognize that right of hers. If she says no to more work at the end of the day, then obviously any work that was left undone under your watch would fall to you.
I really don't think that's the company policy. And anyways, it wasn't that she couldn't do the work, it's that she wasn't doing any work. Even though I was repeatedly reminding her to do so, not only that, but this isn't the only problem like this I've had with her.
Well, you really do have some nerve trying to pass off all of your failures onto your underlings. You're the more experienced employee, so this is on you to fix.
Okay, then I understand, but that being said, I do have one more thing to ask of you, sir. When we've gone out for company dinners, Hillary was paying for her share with the company's end of your party fund. Not only that, but she's been caught taking money from that fund to go out and eat by herself as well. This is a textbook case of embezzlement, and it really is a serious issue. So could you at least talk to her about that? Sir, are you really asking me to just overlook her stealing from the company?
You really are such a cheapskate, do you know that? Do you really think that we're not going to be able to have any kind of fun events around here if one person is taking money out of the fund to treat themselves to lunch now and then? We're going to be just fine. And you really need to stop trying to get Hillary in trouble for every little thing she does.
Sir, are you really asking me to just overlook her stealing from the company? Have you ever done something like this in your time here?
Why do you keep using those words? Stealing? Embezzling? It's nothing like that at all. Well, it's just certainly not those things.
I see. So then should I tell the rest of the staff to start paying for their own lunches with company money? Because it sounds to me like you're saying that's an acceptable thing to do.
You know that isn't okay. If that many people were taking from the fund, then higher-ups would surely notice. That's why my daughter and I are the only ones who can do that. Got it?
I really don't think that's true at all, and you really haven't made a convincing case for yourself.
Well, if you don't like it, then you can just quit your job. What do you think about that? Because if you're not going to listen to what your boss has to say, then we don't need you here. Don't you ever forget your place in this company.
I see. Well, okay, I suppose I understand the situation better now, at least. I'll finish the rest of Hillary's work before the end of the night. See you tomorrow, Mr. Brown. Hey there, Eve. I was looking over the work that you left on my desk last night, and this looks perfect. Thank you so much. Even my dad was saying what an amazing job you did with all of this. I know that I should have left all this work for you. But man, I really didn't think that a company would let me get away with doing something like that. You only got away with doing it because your dad got you your job in this department. But if you ever go and find another job, I really wouldn't recommend acting the way that you have been. For example, the day after I turned in your work for you, I also saw that you left a receipt for what appears to be a night of drinking and expensive food at a bar. What exactly do you want me to do with this? What do you mean, what do I want you to do with it? I used the company card to pay for it, so I want you to take it off our records. Well, this wasn't a work expense, so I guess what I'll do is create an invoice for you to pay back what you spent on the card. Oh, Eve, you really are just so funny. Do you know that? But now, this receipt is related to work. You see, I've had to drink more to keep up with the stress of this job, so therefore the company should be paying for my outings. I see. Well, as compelling as that is, that goes against company policy, so I'm afraid I can't make that happen. Oh, really? But I was talking to my dad, and he told me to just leave the receipt on your desk for you to take care of. So are you really going to pretend like you know more about how this company works than my dad? You do know that he's your boss, right? You really need to learn your place in this company, Eve. I appreciate your reminding me of that, but the thing is that your father doesn't have the right to make that call either. In fact, neither of you should be using company money for personal outings. Listen to me. You should know that I have a date with the CEO of this company, okay? So if things go well, then I am going to become the wife of the next CEO. That means that I'll be higher up than you could ever hope to be. I see. So you're basing this all off one date that you haven't had yet? Sometimes I wonder why I even bother with you at all. It's all part of my dad's plan to help us climb up this corporate ladder, and I'm his secret weapon. I see. Well, that's just quite creepy, but it also doesn't have anything to do with me or this. So you can have whatever love life you want, but while you're at work, you are expected to do your job and follow the company rules. Yeah, some unmarried old hag like you would try and go on a power trip with me, but don't be jealous just because I'm getting married and you're still single. You keep going on about separating the personal from the business, and yet here you are bullying me all day just because I have a love life and you don't. That is not what is going on here in the slightest. I am talking to you every day about the fact that you never do any work. You go out drinking on the company dime and you leave all your duties for me to take care of. Is that how you think you should be behaving at your age? You really just know how to push my buttons, don't you? I had no idea you were such a cruel, horrible woman. I'm sorry if you think I'm being mean, but someone needs to put their foot down and let you know that you can't act like this. You need to take responsibility for your job. I'll have you know that I am working my tail off. I work so hard every single day. All I want is a little break to recompose myself now and then, but you would rather I just work myself to death for this place. If you really can't handle the work being asked of you here, then maybe you should quit. Because everyone else here was hired for their qualifications and experience. You only got this job because your dad insisted that we hire you over much more qualified candidates. And since the day you started working here, I haven't seen you do your job once. And here I thought you were so much nicer, but I see that people only have value to you around here if they work and do whatever you say. Do you really think that's any way to treat people? Hillary, literally what are you talking about? This is a company where we have work that needs to get done in order to meet certain deadlines. If someone isn't doing their work, then they don't belong here. You're the one who doesn't belong here. Ugh, you've got me so stressed out. I really need a drink. Just leave me alone. Wait, what? Are you really just ending this conversation here? You better not be using company money on yourself.
Hey, when are you finally going to learn to quit pushing my limits, huh? Did you know that your bullying finally made my poor daughter break down into tears? I thought I told you to learn your place in this company.
My place in this company? My place in this company is as Hillary's supervisor, so if she doesn't do her work, I have a duty to speak to her about that. I really don't see how you can accuse me of doing anything wrong.
Well, you're taking this way too far. I'm going to see to it that you're fired for what you've done to my daughter. You should have listened to me when I warned you the first time, but now you're really going to pay for it.
And just what did I do that constitutes a fireable offense, huh? Because I haven't heard of any company ever choosing to defend an employee guilty of not working. I can't see how anyone would see my actions as incorrect.
Except for the fact that you're forgetting that I'm our boss. Now submit your letter of resignation to me, and let's just get this over with.
Okay then, I'll quit. But I won't be giving you my letter. I'll be handing it to my father.
Your father? What do you mean? Don't tell me that you meant to type the company president, but you had a slip and typed out father instead? That's worse than calling a teacher mom in school. I mean, even up to the very end, you just keep making mistakes.
That wasn't a mistake. Although it wouldn't matter whether I called him dad, father, or the company president, since they're all the same person.
Wait a second. What? Are you saying that your dad is the company president?
That's exactly what I'm saying, Mr. Brown, and he isn't one to take nepotism lightly. It's clear to anyone who hears the facts about what's been going on who is in the right and who is in the wrong. So I hope you're ready for what's in store for you next.
Wait, are you serious? I mean, I thought it was funny that you two share the same last name, but I thought it was just a coincidence. I mean, both your last names were Smith. I thought that was just a really common last name.
That's why I didn't even bother trying to hide my name. I figured that everyone would think the same way that you did. And so that's why I never told anyone who my real father was.
But I don't understand. Why would they hide something as important as that from me, your boss?
Because I really didn't think it was all that important, and because I don't like using my family to get what I want. I knew that if people knew who I was related to, that I would never be treated equally.
But I should have known who you were. I mean, had I known that you were the daughter of the CEO, then I would never treated you like this.
I see. So you're saying that the way you treat employees is all connected with how much influence they might have over your career? Because I'm afraid that I've already left my desk and was going to deliver my letter of resignation to the top floor.
No, wait, stop. You can't do that, please. I can't be responsible for firing the daughter of the CEO. Please, let's just forget all about this, okay? You don't have to talk to your dad at all. Let's just all get back to work and pretend that none of this ever happened.
I'm afraid that it's far too late to try and do any of that. Besides, what would getting back to work even mean in an office where you and your daughter treat this place like your personal playground?
What are you talking about? But I promise you that the two of us are going to really start doing our jobs from here on out. I'm so sorry if you were concerned at all about our performance, but I promised to have a talk to my daughter about these very serious issues.
Wow, you really about-faced so hard. I'm not sure whether I should be laughing or cringing at that. Who was the one who was just telling me that they would defend Hillary's slacking off?
You're right. That was wrong of me, and I realize that now. I've been too soft to my daughter, and I promised to have a very stern conversation with her. Just please don't go and talk to your father about any of this yet.
No, I really can't understand, and I am going to be talking to my dad. I have seriously had it with the two of you. You have broken so many rules and violated so many policies to just serve yourself and Hillary. Did you really think that I was just going to let you get away with all of this like it was nothing?
I hope you can understand. Please, I really had no idea whose daughter you were. If I did, then I would have never acted in the way that I did towards you. It's just that, well, you know, these companies have strict structures, and sometimes I need to enforce them on underlings like I was doing with you.
I wonder if you even realize the doublespeak that you engage in all of the time. Do you realize how many contradictions you're full of? Maybe if you actually showed any level of self-awareness, then I wouldn't feel the need to go through with this.
Please, I'm begging you not to talk to your dad about this. It would cost me my job.
Well, thankfully for you, my dad doesn't come back from a business trip until tomorrow. But he may have some words to exchange with you when he is back. Anyways, that's all I have to say on the matter. What could you possibly have to say to me now? Are you really going to pretend like you're sorry for what you did just because you got caught? Besides, after what you pulled, the police are going to get involved too.
But please, surely we can just forget about all this, right? I just lost my temper is all.
I don't care what excuse you have yourself. Letting you stay in this office any longer is putting all employees at risk. I mean, you were really trying to hurt me, I could tell. But I guess you thought that just because I'm a woman means that I would be weak, huh?
I just didn't expect you to be so strong.
Well, I've been doing judo ever since I was little. I throw men twice your size and triple your strengths on the mat like it's nothing. But the fact that you tried to ambush me in the parking lot, cover my mouth with your hand, you're nothing but a coward.
Please, I didn't think that he would be able to fight back. Just give me one more chance. I'll even work for free. Just please, don't go to the police about this.
It's far too late for any of that. I've already told my dad everything. You should have seen how angry he got, but don't worry, you're still allowed on company property for one more day. After all, my dad still wants to talk to you. So anyways, go to the top floor and have your conversation with him. And by the time you're finished cleaning out your desk, the police should be on the ground floor ready to pick you up. After I told my dad everything, including what Mr. Brown tried to do to me in the parking lot, he was furious. It was actually his own staff that had to hold him back from leaping at Mr. Brown and attacking him when he entered his office. After he caught his breath, my dad explained to Mr. Brown that he and his daughter were being let go and were also being sued by the company for embezzlement. Mr. Brown was also facing a lawsuit from me as well for his attempted assault. In the end, he owed so much in legal fees that he had to go deep into debt to pay it all back. My dad also made sure that he would never work in this town again through his connections and networks. I requested a restraining order against Mr. Brown and his daughter in case they ever tried to get revenge on me. After his firing, however, I was promoted to Mr. Brown's position as department chief. Since then, both productivity and employee satisfaction have been at their highest point in years.
Hey there, Hillary. Are you there? Is now a good time to talk? Oh, I really hope it is, because I have some big news that I just have to share with you right this second. The thing is, well, you know your fiancé Felix? Well, I stole him from you. He's all mine, so you'll just have to go through your silly little wedding all by yourself.
Opal, I knew that this was all you. Do you have any idea what you've just done by doing this to me?
Of course I know what I've just done by stealing your fiancé Felix away from you. And what I did was I stole your fiancé, the man who you were supposed to marry, your man who you thought you were going to spend the rest of your life with, from you. And now we're going to run off and elope together. It really is all just so romantic once you stop and think about it. Don't you agree with me?
You really have some nerve pulling something like this. Do you know that? I mean, just when did you and Felix even get that close anyways, huh?
Well, I think we actually started to feel this way from the moment that we laid eyes on each other. You remember when you brought over Felix that one time to our house to introduce him to our family because you two had just gotten engaged, right? Well, it was then, on that day, when he came over to our house because you brought him, that we fell in love.
I see. Well, fine. If you two really make each other that happy, then far be it from me to stop you. You can have him.
You don't have to pretend to be so tough just for me, you know? You're just upset that now you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. I wonder how things are going over there at your wedding venue. I'm sure that people are already starting to whisper about where the groom could be. But don't worry. If anyone asks what is taking Felix so long to arrive, you can tell them all that I'm doing you the favor of marrying him in your place. Isn't that great?
I already said that you can do whatever you want. I don't get why you insist on keeping this conversation going.
You really are just so sad. Do you know that, sis? I mean, it's just so obvious how you're just trying to act tough right now. But I know that you're just heartbroken. What are you going to do with your life from here on out, huh? I mean, you don't even have a job, right? Weren't you totally relying on Felix to help support you? Well, what are you going to do now that your walking ATM has decided to go to another woman?
I don't know what you're talking about. I have a very respectable job and no money troubles, so I don't know where you heard that.
No. Come on, there is no need to lie to me about this. I already have the whole truth. I know that you don't make that much money and that you need Felix to be comfortable. I mean, Felix makes a ton of money from his job, so that's why you quit your job when you two got engaged, isn't that right? So I just want to know what you're going to do with your life now that you don't have a guy like Felix to take care of everything for you.
Well, I really appreciate your concern for me, sister, but I would rather you just butt out and leave me alone.
Oh, come on. You don't really think I'm just going to not worry about my sister, right? We're family. Of course I'm going to worry about you. I mean, you're not even going to be able to keep living in our parents' house after this, so I'm just really worried about what you're going to do from here on out.
I won't be able to live at Mom and Dad's house anymore. Just what do you mean by that?
Well, isn't it obvious? Felix canceled his lease for the apartment where the two of you were living, so now you only have until the end of this month to pack all of your bags and move out. Did you really think you were going to keep living there for free?
Wait, what? You mean Felix just told the leasing office that we weren't going to be keeping our lease? But he can't just do that.
Well, I'm afraid it's far too late to do anything about it now. It's already been done and there is nothing that you can do about it. So good luck living out the rest of your sad, lonely life.
Hillary, are you okay? How are you doing right now?
Hi there, Mom. I'm doing fine, I guess. I don't really know what else to say right now.
Well, I just want you to know that if there is anything that I can do for you, you can always ask me for help, you know.
That's very much like you, Mom. Thank you for always being there for me. But I really just don't even know what anyone could do in a situation like this. I mean, to think that my own little sister, that Opal would do this to me, steal my fiancé on the day we were supposed to get married?
I know. I really have no idea how she expects to come back from this. I know that your dad is just furious about this. He woke up the happiest I'd seen him in years, and now...
And to think that the day started so well for everyone, I just can't believe that it's all turned to this. I'm really just shocked. I don't know what else can even be said about it. Though, I suppose that I really shouldn't be all that surprised by this.
What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean that you shouldn't have been surprised? Did you know something about your sister and Felix?
Well, I kind of noticed that they seemed to be getting along really well, but I guess I just never wanted to dig into it more than I needed to. I knew that something weird was up, but I did a bit of looking. Dad wanted to look deeper into what it could be. But I guess this is what I get for letting it go on so long without doing anything about it.
I see. That must have been really hard on you then, Hillary. Especially knowing what you know now. I'm sorry that I never noticed that anything was going on either. I should have been more vigilant for my daughter.
Mom, please. There's no way that you could have seen this coming more than anyone else. But whatever, I'm over it. I just want to work on putting this as far behind me as possible. I need a drink.
I really understand how you feel, Hillary. But I don't think that you're going to find what you're looking for at the end of a bottle. But anyways, once you've packed up all your bags, you should come over to our house. You can still do your work even if you're at someone else's house, right?
Yeah, my company really doesn't care where I'm working as long as I have a connection to the internet. Thank you so much, Mom. You've always been there for me, and I just want you to know that I really appreciate it.
Hillary, please. You're my daughter. You don't need to thank your own mom for doing her job. I'm just sorry that things had to turn out this way.
Me too, Mom. Me too. Mind if I ask you to make something really special for dinner tonight?
Of course. I'll talk to your dad, and him and I will plan something amazing for us all to eat together tonight. But you shouldn't just lose this opportunity that you have here, you know? You have so many family members and friends who have to see you, and you should spend time with them.
That's a good way to think about it, Mom. Everything is already paid for anyways, so we might as well enjoy ourselves.
Hey there, Hillary. It has been a really, really long time since you and I have last spoken, huh? I was just wondering where you were living right now. I am visiting back home right now, and I really wanted to see you.
You've come back to visit him? What are you even talking about? Why are you even here?
I mean that I've come back to our hometown because I'm pregnant and I want to have my child where our family came from. And of course, it should go without saying that the child I'm carrying right now is none other than your former fiancé, my current husband, Felix's.
Wow. Well, I think you really have some nerve coming back to town like nothing has happened at all. I mean, you really have some serious nerve to do that. Do you know that? I think if I were you, I would never want anyone who knew me to ever see my face again. I think I would be way too ashamed of what I've done.
Well, what else am I supposed to do? I'm pregnant with a baby, so I have to have it in our hometown. I mean, isn't this what everyone does? I'm not about to skip doing this just because of what some nosy neighbors might have to say about me. Besides, I just know that Mom and Dad are going to be so happy to see me. This is going to be their first grandchild ever, after all. I'm sure they'll let everything go in light of that, don't you think?
You really think that Mom and Dad are going to want anything to do with you? You really don't know a thing, do you? You better not try to come near me or our parents ever again, got it?
Oh, come on now. There's no need to be like this, you know? Really, why are you being so rude to your pregnant sister? I'm only coming back because I want my family to support me while I'm pregnant. So anyways, really, what I'm trying to ask if you could move out of Mom and Dad's house for me.
And just why on earth would I ever want to do something like that for someone like you, huh?
Well, because I'm doing what's expected of me by coming back home to have my kid. So you should do whatever you can to help me by moving out of Mom and Dad's house and making room for me.
Opal, literally what in the world are you talking about? Do you really think that you could just show up and demand that kind of thing from me?
Oh, please. You're going to talk to me like that when you're nothing but a little leech on our parents? The least you could do for our family is to give up your room for me, your pregnant little sister. Besides, you have to know by now that Mom and Dad would much rather have you out of their house and hair than being the bum that you really are. Although I can't say that I blame you for wanting to stay so long there. After all, they are really, really good cooks. That would be tough to give up.
Opal, do you have any idea just how much of a terrible person you are? I mean, do you have any self-awareness at all, or do you just go through life not thinking about a single thing?
You think that I'm joking with you. I am pregnant with a child. I am thinking about the future, and that's why I'm here right now. So in case you haven't noticed, I am being the more productive daughter and now have more value than you in this family. So get that through your thick head right now.
You really need a reality check, do you know that? I mean, you want to talk about being family, but then try and kick me out of my own room? I'm sorry, Opal, but nobody is in the mood to take orders from you at all right now. Got it? So why don't you just turn around and never ever come back here?
There you are again, trying to act so tough for me even though you know I'm the stronger out of the two of us. I mean, do you really think that I'm going to be scared over my unemployed sister who still lives with our parents? Fat chance!
And just who do you think you are to make fun of people being jobless when you don't work either?
I am pregnant. I don't have to work because I have a good excuse to get out of it, thank you very much. Besides, just why in the world would I waste time working when I have my husband, Felix of course, to make all the money that we'll ever need? There's just no point in me even going out to work since it would hardly make a difference compared to what Felix is bringing home every month.
So you really think that Felix is as rich as you imagine him to be then?
Aw, are you really concerned about my married life when you don't have a job, man, prospects, and any hope for the future at all? Just who do you think you are to talk to me like that, huh?
I'm sorry, Opal. Are you done here? I have things I need to get back to doing now.
Of course we're not through here. I'm still going to be coming home and I still want you out of your room so that I can stay there. You're old enough to be married and yet you're still living with Mom and Dad. If they aren't going to kick you out into the real world, then I will.
Well, that's going to be a problem when my boyfriend and I live together in a nice condo building.
You're such a liar. Do you really think that I'm going to buy that? You're so pathetic it's beyond sad at this point.
Well, I don't know what to tell you except that I'm being totally honest. But yeah, it's the truth. I don't even live with Mom and Dad anymore, so... I mean, did you really think that nothing would change in anyone's life for 2 years while you ran around and did what you did?
There you go again, trying to talk down to me. I thought I told you to cut that out. I already know that you're lying, so I don't get why you insist on being like this. But I know that there's no way that you're dating anyone. That's just too much. And to think that on top of that, you're trying to tell me that you and him live together in some nice big building? Nice try. Even if I were to accept that all that were true, I bet that it's not even your place. You just moved from leeching off Mom and Dad to some poor sap.
There you go again, making assumptions about things that you have no idea about. Just when did I say that it was my boyfriend's condo, huh? You really have no idea at all about what my life has been like.
Well, I know that when we last talked, you had a terrible job and could barely even support yourself with Felix there to cover all the big expenses.
I already told you that when Felix and I got married, I didn't quit working or anything like that. I just started freelancing with my skills instead. I was able to find clients willing to pay me much more than I was making when I was working for the company that I was at before. And since I don't have to go into an office or anything like that anymore, it really is much easier since I can work from anywhere I have internet, basically.
Wait a second. You mean that this whole time you've been working as a freelancer? You've got to be kidding me. I had no idea about any of that. But if you're a freelancer, then that's even worse than not having a job at all.
Wow, Opal, I really have to ask, do you ever get embarrassed about being so wrong about every little thing that you send to me? I mean, I feel like I would just start to have some shame after a while.
The only person who should feel ashamed about themselves and their lives is you, Hillary. You've done nothing with your life, and all you're doing is lying to me about what you're doing. This settles it. This whole thing is just a huge fib. You're still living with Mom and Dad, and you haven't had a job in years. So you better pack up your bags, because I'm going to be arriving to Mom and Dad soon, and I will be kicking you out whether you like it or not. Got it?
Opal, what is the matter with you? Have you not read any of the messages that I've been sending to you? I literally don't even live with Mom and Dad anymore. I live together with my boyfriend. There is no room to even pack up and move out to make room for you. Got it?
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for you to show me around your condo and your boyfriend when I get to Mom and Dad's. I'm sure that you guys are living in the lap of luxury together.
You really have no idea at all about what you're talking about, do you?
Hey, Hillary, are you there? Seriously, I need you to respond to me right away. What the heck is going on? Did I miss something? I mean, what is this? Why is there nothing where our house used to be? It's just a parking lot here now.
Well, that would probably be because last year, Mom and Dad moved out of their house and sold the property to a development company who then proceeded to build a parking lot where Mom and Dad's house used to be on the property that was sold to them. So basically, to sum this all up in a very succinct and easy to understand brief encapsulation of the information that you're looking for now that you have gone there and seen that Mom and Dad have moved out of their house, Mom and Dad no longer live there.
But, I mean, so you're just telling me that Mom and Dad moved out of their house. And then not only that, but they sold the property that the house existed on to a company? And then that company demolished the house that was on the property that Mom and Dad sold to them, and in that same place they decided to make a parking lot? Why didn't you tell me about any of this earlier while we were talking? I told you that I was going to Mom and Dad's house. You should have told me that it isn't there anymore. I came all this way and there's no house left.
And just why should I have anything to tell you about it, huh? You're lucky that I even responded to this message to explain to you that Mom and Dad moved out and sold their house and that a parking lot was built where their house used to be. So if you really think that I owe you anything after all that you've done to me, you really do have something else coming.
But then, wait a second. What am I supposed to do if Mom and Dad aren't living in their house anymore?
I don't know. I guess you'll probably just have to go back to your house with Felix and have your baby there.
But no, you don't get it. But that just isn't going to work for me at all. Can you please just tell me where it is that Mom and Dad are living right now if they are not living here where they used to?
You want me to tell you where our Mom and Dad are living right now? No way. I am never going to tell you the place where both of our parents are currently residing.
But why not? Why won't you tell me the location of the place where our parents are currently living now that they've moved out of their old house?
Well, that's because Mom and Dad and even I want nothing to do with you ever again. You aren't a member of this family anymore. You made your choice when you betrayed me on the day that I was supposed to get married to Felix, but instead you stole him from me.
But wait, you all can't just cut me out of your lives like this. I mean, this is something we should all deal with together as a family. How can I say my piece if I don't know where anyone lives?
It's okay. I don't really think that any of us care all that much about what you have to say anyways, so you can save it. And that's why I am not going to be telling you where it is that our parents have moved to.
Well, fine. If you aren't going to tell me where Mom and Dad are living right now, then I guess I'll call Mom and have her tell me herself.
Yeah, that really isn't going to work out any better for you. You should know.
Hey, Mom, are you there? It's your youngest daughter, Opal. I know it's been a long time since we've talked, but you still remember me, right? I was actually going to visit home to surprise you and Dad, but when I got to where our house used to be, there's nothing but a parking lot here. So, anyways, I was wondering if you could please tell me where it is that you and Dad are now currently living since you both moved out of the old house? I have lots of presents that I need to give you, so please tell me where I can go to give them to you.
Hello and goodbye.
Whoa, wait, hold on. Hold it right there. It is me, your daughter. You can't just say hello and then goodbye to me.
Actually, you are no longer my daughter as far as I am concerned. I have no idea who you are, but you are nothing to me.
What are you talking about, Mom? It's me. It's Opal. Mom, it's me, your daughter. You remember me, won't you? Please tell me that you know who I am.
I'm sorry, but I only have one daughter, and her name is Hillary. I don't think I know a single person named Opal. No, I'm thinking about it, and no one really comes to mind at all.
Wait, no, Mom. I know that Hillary said you all wanted to cut me out of your life, but not like this. I didn't think that she was being serious. Please, Mom, you can't just pretend like I never existed. I'm your daughter. You have to know that. Just please tell me where you and Dad are living.
I'm really sorry, but I am not about to give out my address to some person I have never met in my life.
Mom, please, don't talk to me like this. It's me, your daughter. You know me. I've tried calling Dad's phone over and over again, but he isn't taking any of my calls or getting back to my messages. But we're all family. You can't just treat me like this. You're being so cruel to me right now.
Cruel? You want to talk about cruel? I don't think that the person who stole their own sister's husband has a right to talk about what is and isn't cruel. Do you have any idea the pain that you caused Hillary?
But I mean, does this mean that you remembered who I really am then, Mom?
Well, I don't know how I was supposed to keep up that act when you were sitting there crying as if you were the victim in all of this and not your sister. But if you really want to know, your father and I haven't and will never forgive you for what you did to poor Hillary. And by the way, you should also know that we all know your little secret.
Wait, secret? What are you talking about? What secret are you talking about that you're saying that you all know about?
You know exactly the secret that I told you that we all know that you were trying to keep quiet but has become known.
Wait, what? That sentence barely even made sense. I don't get it. Please, you have to know it wasn't my fault. It's just that all my life I felt like Hillary was the better sister. I thought that if I could just make Felix mine that it would prove that we were equals. Please don't leave me, Mom. I didn't think that things would go like this.
Nobody ever compared you to your sister, and nobody ever put you down compared to Hillary. If you really did always feel that way, then that is unfortunate. But that is still your problem, and you should have sought professional help for it.
Wait, what? You mean, you think I should have just gone to see a mental health professional about this complex that I've developed? That's the stupidest advice that I've ever heard.
Well, you can call it what you like, but it doesn't change the fact that you've lost your family because of delusions that you have never sought to address in a healthy way. But when you betrayed your sister like that on the day that she was supposed to be getting married, you crossed a line that is never going to be uncrossed. You removed yourself from this family.
Wait, what? What do you mean by that, Mom? You can't really think that I thought that I was removing myself from the family when I did what I did, right?
I heard that you were coming to try and surprise us with a visit, so we told everyone that we know to not tell you our address under any circumstances. So you're never going to find us. The smart thing to do would be to turn around and go home. If you even have a place to go home to, that is.
So then you really do know about the secret that I was confused about you knowing earlier. I didn't think that you actually knew it, but that last sentence really confirms that you must know it.
Well, anyways, I don't have anything else to say to a woman like you. So have a good life.
Hey, sis, are you there right now? I was just curious why you told me to go back to Felix's earlier.
Are you stupid or something? Why do you think I would tell you something like that? It's because I want you to go home already.
Right, but I mean, do you have any idea at all why it is that I'm coming home by myself to have this child? I'm sure that you have to know the truth if you've talked to Mom about this at all. But what I don't get is why would you pretend to not know the secret that I'm talking about that you are saying you don't know but that I think you know because Mom knows and that's how I know that you know?
Well, I don't think this really has anything to do with me. It sounds more like a question that you need to answer yourself.
Wait, what do you mean? So you know that Felix is going to be arrested.
I had heard that Felix appeared to have gotten himself in some kind of legal trouble or something of the sort. The articles I was reading have something to do about running scams from the company. I guess it really is a good thing that you stole a man like that from me.
But then you know how much trouble I'm in since he is going to be arrested for doing exactly what you said. That is, scamming people through his company, which he is going to be arrested for, right?
Well, I just don't think it's my business since it's between you and your husband. After all, Felix and I never got married, remember?
Please, I don't have money and Felix's assets have been frozen. I don't have a place to go home to and I don't have any way to support myself at all. I'm already swimming in my own debt. You have to help me. I don't know how I'm supposed to go on like this right now. You have to do something.
And just why in the world do you think that your problems have anything to do with me at all, huh?
Please, you have to help me. I'm pregnant and I have no money and I'm homeless. Don't you have any pity for me in your heart at all?
Oh, please. Are you still telling people that you're pregnant? You know that no one believes that, right?
But I don't get it. How did you figure out that I was lying about being pregnant this whole time?
Because I already knew that Felix isn't able to have any children of his own. So if you were really pregnant, then there would only be a few explanations of what could have happened. Anyway, I don't even know why I'm wasting my time talking to you. You know that none of us are going to help you and that you've already lost your place in this family. Why don't you just disappear out of all our lives again and leave us alone, huh? After that, I blocked Opal on everything as she proceeded to blow up my phone with so many messages begging me for help and not to leave her alone. And after I blocked her, I never heard from her again. I heard that she even managed to track my boyfriend and I to what city we were living in, but she still couldn't find us. She begged family and friends and everyone she could think of for information on where our parents, as well as I, had moved to, but no one was interested in telling her. In fact, I think most people took that as a sign to block her as well. So if Opal really was drowning in debt and had no home to go to, then I really have no idea what she's up to at all. I hear some news come down through the grapevine now and then about someone who thinks they might have seen her. As for Felix, I heard he was arrested and is serving jail time for his fraud charges. He also had no one willing to stand up for him after what he did to me either. So I really have no idea who Opal could have turned to for help, but anyways, I say good riddance. You might be wondering about where it was that my mom and dad did end up moving to. Well, my boyfriend was actually a very wealthy real estate agent, so when we all decided to move away from our hometown to avoid Opal, just in case she were ever to return one day, like she eventually ended up doing, he was able to help my parents find a good deal on a new place to live. Funny enough, if Opal had managed to track my boyfriend and I down, then she certainly would have been able to find Mom and Dad because after they sold their house and moved out, they moved into the condo just a few floors beneath ours. We've really enjoyed getting to live so close to each other, but we all realize how dangerous it might be if Opal were to show up.
Hey there, Hillary. I just saw that you made reservations at my husband's restaurant, but was that a mistake by chance? Or were you just too stupid that you forgot where you were making a reservation at?
Rhonda, what are you talking about, and what makes you think that you can talk to me that way this early into a conversation?
Well, I'm just saying, you do know that my husband's restaurant is one of the top French restaurants in the whole city, right? And I really don't think it's the kind of place that people of your standing can afford to eat out at.
If you must know, we are going out to celebrate our anniversary. That's why we're splurging and chose your husband's restaurant. In fact, we're really looking forward to getting to eat out there since it's so difficult to get reservations in the first place.
Wait a second. You mean that you were going to come in to celebrate yours and your husband's wedding anniversary? You were really going to come out to my husband's restaurant to do that? Don't you think that doing something like that to celebrate your anniversary is just a little, I don't know, childish?
Not really. How is a dinner date with your husband childish at all? And even if it were, it's not really any of your business how we decide to enjoy our anniversary. And it's even less of your business to even be commenting on it.
But you're the ones that are going to be coming to our restaurant, yes? So surely I'm allowed to have feelings about it. Besides, you know that a French restaurant is a very grown-up place, don't you? We can't have children like you and your husband ruining the atmosphere for everyone.
Well, thankfully there won't be any children there anyways. My parents were going to watch our kids while we go out. So this was just going to be a date for the two of us, so you can rest easy knowing that no children are going to be there while we're at your restaurant. Wow, you mean you even went so far as to find sitters for your silly little date? But can you really even call yourself a mother if that's how you treat your kids? You just slough off having to watch them so that you and your husband can pretend that you two are kids again? Is that really what you think a good parent does? Rhonda, I think that you are acting absolutely ridiculous right now. I mean, what are you even complaining about at this point? The fact of the matter is that we called to make a reservation and the restaurant accepted it. I really don't see what the point is in dragging out the topic any longer than that. It's already done. More importantly, like I said, this really doesn't have anything to do with you anyways, so I would appreciate it if you could just mind your own business. You really have some nerve talking to me like that. Don't you know who I am, after all? I think that you're the wife of the person who actually owns the business that you're talking about. So I don't really see why you think you can tell my husband and I where we can or can't eat. So if you could just let my husband and I enjoy our anniversary in peace, that would be greatly appreciated. It's just really sad. I can't help but feel bad for you. I mean, I know how poor you and your husband really are. I bet that even if you two could eat at our place, that you would only order the cheapest things on the menu and then leave without even leaving a tip for the waitstaff. Why are you being like this, Rhonda? There is no need to be this rude, you know. And we are more than able to afford eating at your restaurant, thank you very much. I don't know where you got the idea that my husband and I were poor, but it simply isn't true at all. What are you talking about? Of course you're poor. I mean, I've seen the way that your son dresses. He only owns one shirt, and don't even get me started on talking about your fashion sense. They aren't rags, it's just that our son really likes that character from his show, so we bought him multiples of the same shirt. You sure do have a lot of excuses ready to go, don't you? You know that you don't have to lie to me, though, right? I am seriously getting sick of you, Rhonda. You need to stop making so many assumptions about my family. And I don't need you speaking bad about my husband or son either, do you understand? We are literally giving your business our money, and you still have the gall to insult me?
Did you really think that we were going to let you into my restaurant when you pulled up in a piece of junk car like that? I don't ever want to see you come near my shop again.
Is this Marcus? As in Rhonda's husband, Marcus? You have really got some nerve kicking my husband and I out of your place like that. Do you know that? But I guess you are the owner after all, aren't you?
That's right. That's why I had to throw you out of my restaurant like scraps to get tossed into the dumpster at the end of the day. After all, my business is my reputation, and I can't have people like you and your husband ruining it.
Well, you should know that Rhonda and I know each other, although I can't exactly say that her and I are good friends at all. But something tells me that you already knew that, and that's why you did what you did.
I don't care about who you know. It doesn't matter to me.
But then, I don't get it. If you didn't kick us out to make your wife happy, then why did you do it?
It is like I already told you. I have to protect my restaurant's reputation. And that means that I can't have any grubby little pores like you running around and ruining people's appetite. Folks like you shouldn't even be allowed to sit down and eat anywhere if you ask me.
Do you really hate people that are less well off than you that much? I know that your restaurant has a reputation of being really fancy, but I think it's just incredibly rude for you to be treating us this way. How can you kick out paying customers who didn't do anything wrong? What kind of business does that? Do you really think that treating your customers like that is going to protect the reputation of your business?
I think that kicking you out is the best possible thing I could have done to keep my real customers happy. Besides, it's clear that if I let you eat, that you wouldn't have been able to pay for anything in the end. You would have just caused a big scene, wouldn't you?
Do you mind telling me just why you think it's okay to look down on my husband and I like this when you don't even know who we are? I would have hoped that we could at least talk about this like adults.
If you think that you're worthy of being treated like that at all from me, Then you are sorely mistaken. Ha 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 ha.
And just what makes you say that? What makes you think that you know anything about my husband and I?
Oh, I saw all that I needed to do when your clunker pulled into my parking lot. That told me that all I needed to know about you two.
And tell me, is this a restaurant policy of yours? Because when we did pull in, we didn't see any signs about being judged by what kind of car we would be in. And if you must know, we were in that car because my husband and I were coming to your restaurant straight from work. But what I want to know is where you had specified the kinds of cars that were or weren't allowed to come to your restaurant. Because you can't just make up rules that the customers would have no idea about.
I am getting sick and tired of listening to these poor grumblings. What I want to know from you is why you sought to insult my restaurant by coming in that car of yours. You threw the first stone when you failed to show the proper level of respect to my establishment. Got it?
I'm sorry, but kicking us out is going to be the worst decision that you ever made as a restaurateur. You are finished after this.
Oh yeah? I would have liked to see you try and take me down. You can't do anything to me.
Oh, you're right. I won't be the one taking you down, though. That job will go to my husband. You might want to start looking into another industry because your restaurant, as you know it, is basically done for.
Ha 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 ha. You poor folks really say the craziest things sometimes. Do you know that? What could you or your husband do to affect my restaurant at all?
Well, you do know that my husband manages an important trading company, don't you?
What trading company are you talking about? Have you actually lost your mind or something?
No, I'm being completely serious with you. The fact of the matter is that neither my husband nor I are poor in the slightest.
But that can't be right. You showed up to my restaurant in your crappy little car. Only a poor person would have a car like that.
Well, we got a call from a client saying they needed some help moving some things, so that's what we were busy doing until our reservation. We went to go and help a client of ours so that we could protect the reputation of our business. Sound familiar? And thankfully, we could do everything we needed with that little truck, so that's what he used.
Oh, come on. You really expect me to believe all that?
I don't care if you don't. The fact of the matter is that it's true. And now my husband is going to make you rue the day that you were born. So prepare to kiss your restaurant goodbye.
I don't care what you say. If you're having to help out your clients yourself, then your company surely can't be that big. You're probably just mid to small size little mom and pop shop that thinks you're far important than you really are.
Do you have any idea what being a trading company even means? We move the goods that keep society flowing. So the French imports that your place relies on to promote itself as authentic, for example, are carried through our freight.
Wait, what? No, that can't be right at all. This is ridiculous.
Are you sure about that? I guess we'll see who is right tomorrow then, won't we? We're going to make you regret the way that you treated us. It's going to be too fun watching you crash and burn.
You really think that you can scare me with these empty threats? I'm not scared of you. I'll never be scared of what some pathetic little person who doesn't understand how the world works has to say to me.
Well, okay then. If you're really still not going to apologize after all I've told you, you'll just have to wait and see what happens tomorrow. I hope business goes well for you.
Hey, it's Hillary, right? You need to get in contact with your husband right away. How am I supposed to do business like this, huh?
I'm sorry, but you're going to have to be a little more specific with that. I'm sure I have no idea what you're talking about. Besides, is that any way to speak to someone that you're going to have to beg for help?
You really think that you're going to get away with this? You're going to drive me into the ground at this point.
So I take it that means you haven't gotten some of the shipments of food you need to run your business for the day, right? I did try to warn you that something like this would happen, didn't I?
This isn't a joke, okay? Did you read the message that I sent you? How in the world am I supposed to operate my business like this? I know that this is your doing. You were the one saying all those weird things to me yesterday. But I need the food here now. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to open.
So then you're reaching out to me because you think that I can help you get those supplies that you so desperately need? Because honestly, I don't really feel all that obligated to help you out at all. And my husband feels the same way too.
Are you kidding me? I am being serious here. You can't do this to me.
In fact, we were actually reading some review of your restaurant last night, and while everyone seems to agree that the prices are high, the reviews of the food itself are quite mixed.
You're talking about my restaurant? That can't be right at all. And anyone who thinks that my food isn't good needs to have their tongue medically examined.
Are you sure about that? I suppose I can't exactly say for myself since you kicked my husband and I out of your place before we could make up our minds. After all, that was one of the reasons why we chose to go to your place to begin with.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, I actually wanted to go to a different place for our anniversary, but my husband insisted that we go to your place. We were worried about having to take our children with us at first, and I told my husband that they wouldn't enjoy French food. But then, when my parents said they could watch our kids, there was basically nothing else keeping us from going.
That still doesn't explain anything to me at all. Just tell me why you're doing this to me.
Well, my husband really enjoys eating out at the restaurants that he helps supply food to, though if your character is anything to base your food off of, it must not be that great anyway.
Those two things have nothing to do with one another. You can't just judge my cooking when you haven't even tried it.
Well, I suppose it's far too late to try and remedy that now, right?
No. The problem here is that your husband is trying to hold me and my restaurant hostage right now.
And I'm not sure what any of that has to do with me, personally.
Oh, come on. Surely this has to go against some contract that him and I have had to have signed to do business, right? I order goods and he delivers them. I paid for a service that he isn't providing. Doesn't he know I could sue him for this?
You might have a point there if it weren't for the fact that you've been paying on credit for some time now.
Wait, how do you know about that?
Because the person you do your business with is my husband. Not that you even noticed when we were in the restaurant, though. Anyways, my husband told his overseers to stop any shipments to your restaurant until you've cleared your tab with his company. It's either that or you'll have to find a new supplier.
I don't believe it. Your husband would really do that to me?
That's right. But if you'd like to complain about it, I'd rather you direct your complaints to him instead. I can't really do anything, and I certainly don't want to read all your complaints through text.
Well, the only reason I'm reaching out to you is because I don't know how to reach your husband. And just how was I supposed to know he was some big business guy anyways? Besides, he can't just involve our businesses in what is clearly a personal dispute. It's cowardly.
Really? You think that doing something like this is cowardly?
Of course it is. What kind of professional even acts like this? It's just ridiculous.
That's funny because I was thinking the exact same thing yesterday.
And just what is that supposed to mean, huh?
Well, I suppose you've heard a little bit about us from your wife, right?
Well, sure, she talks about you now and then, but I only half pay attention, really.
And I suppose it's probably because of your wife that you think my husband and I are so poor, right? And that's what led to you treating us the way that you did. You didn't treat us like customers, you treated us like garbage.
But I mean, the truck that you guys come in was filthy. How was I supposed to know that you weren't really poor?
I don't know why you think you can guess that much about people's lives just from the car that they drive. But I guess that's all the reason you need to chase us out, though. Now you tell me, is that any way for a professional to act towards his customers? I don't think someone like you even deserves to have a business, personally.
So what? You're really just going to ruin all the hard work I've done because you don't like me?
No, Marcus. What happens next is entirely up to you. If you can find another seller, then you should be able to be back up and running by next week. Otherwise, you can pay the debts that you already owe to my husband. It's entirely in your hands.
Hillary, can you please tell your husband to stop this? I'm begging you.
You mean you want me to talk to him on your behalf?
That's right. If we can't get our supplies in right now, then things are going to be really bad. I don't know how long it's going to take to find a supplier that can get me everything that I need. I don't know how long my restaurant is going to stay open without the food coming in from your husband.
A very interesting proposal, but I think I'm going to pass.
Please, you can't do this to me. I'm really begging you here. I need your help.
And I'm telling you that I don't think I owe you anything after the way that you treated my husband and I. You and your horrible wife. Although I guess I see how you two ended up together now.
Okay, that is it. You could talk bad about me all you want, but you will not talk bad about my wife.
I think I just did. And I was really only being honest. You two really are a good match for each other, it seems. But don't worry, you aren't ever going to see my husband or I in your restaurant ever again. For however long it manages to stay open, that is. Have a nice life after that happens, jerk. After that, Marcus tried desperately to look for a new supplier to bring him the ingredients that he needed to stay open. Meanwhile, the bad reviews of his restaurant continued to gain attention as people wondered why the restaurant was closed on days it would normally be open. And why were they missing so many things from their menu? Needless to say, the restaurant was on its final legs. I heard that Marcus and Rhonda started getting into more and more fights after that, and in the end, they divorced. It was then that Marcus came to my husband begging for his help. But he simply ignored him. Marcus was only going deeper and deeper into debt until he was eventually forced to declare bankruptcy. But I say that he and his wife got exactly what they deserved. As for my husband and I, our lives really didn't change much. We offered special deals with other French restaurants in town who needed similar ingredients as what Marcus normally ordered from us. In this way, we didn't have to let any stock go to waste and were able to divert what Marcus would buy into other customers' businesses. And now, with Marcus's restaurant out of the way, there was actually a flourishing of French places to eat in town. So in a way, Marcus's restaurant failing has now put our town on the map as a hub of French cuisine. I guess it just goes to show you that you should never assume you're too big to fail.
Alright, so we're gonna go and meet my parents tomorrow, right? I'm a little worried about something, so I thought that I should warn you before we go.
What are you worried about?
I just spoke to my parents on the phone, and it looks like my dad... well, it sounds like he really's got something against you.
What? Really? But we've never even met before. What could he have against me? Is he really that protective of you?
Kind of. It's more like he thinks that we gotta marry into someone that's worthy of being in our family, since I guess you can say that we have it all. We have the education, the money, the influence. I mean, all of our family has graduated from a renowned university. He wants the people that join our family to be just as high up on the ladder as we are.
So? What's the problem? I went to a pretty famous university too. Or is it not famous enough?
Well, yeah, the problem isn't you exactly, it's your background. I didn't know that your dad was a single parent. You've never told me that he raised you by himself. But my dad knew somehow.
Wait, I told you that my mom passed away. I didn't think that I would have to tell you that that means that my dad is a single parent.
Well, I knew about your mom, but I didn't think that he was still alone. When you hear that someone's from a single-parent household, you get the impression that they're not exactly financially stable. You understand that, right?
What? Troy, what are you even saying? That doesn't make any sense at all. Do you understand that that's called prejudice?
Anyway, I think that's why my dad doesn't like you. My mom told me that he's been in a bad mood recently because of that. So I just want you to be careful with what you say to him tomorrow. We don't want to anger him any further.
You're telling me to be careful? How am I supposed to do that? I haven't even done anything wrong, so how am I supposed to take care not to make him angry? I'm not gonna walk around on eggshells. I don't understand where this is all coming from, but if he already hates me, then obviously there's nothing I can do about it. I'm just going to be myself and work towards getting to know him. And have him get to know the real me. Everything's going to be fine, so you don't have to worry.
You've got a lot of nerve coming into my house and trying to slither your way into my family. A woman like you doesn't deserve to be with my son. You're beneath him.
You should take that back, Mason. You're being extremely rude. You were insulting my dad, too. What you've said is absolutely unforgivable.
You and that father of yours, did you really think that you could become a part of our family if you got closer to my son and married him? You're beneath us. You don't have the right. You must be stupid if you think that I'm going to let you get away with this.
I'm not interested in becoming family with someone who speaks like that to someone they've only just met. And the prejudices you have against single-parent households is just ridiculous, too. I don't want to have anything to do with your so-called super elite family.
You don't have the right to reject us. We're the ones that want nothing to do with people like you. You must have thought that marrying into our family was a chance for you to become rich yourselves. But you're not getting your dirty hands on any of my money. And you're not marrying my son either. If you keep on acting like a gold digger like that, then you'll never get married. It's no wonder you're still single at your age.
Excuse me?
There's no point in trying to hide it. I heard from Troy that you're older than he is. Which means that you're over 30. If a woman's not married by the time she's 25, that can only mean that something's wrong with her. In other words, you're after our money. You can't trick me, you're a fortune hunter. You should take a good look at yourself and your background before you go out and try and find another victim. Next time you should aim a lot lower instead of trying to reach for someone that's out of your league. You and my son were never going to make it as a couple. He's too good for you. And you only have your ignorance to blame if you can't realize that.
Mason, I think you should be careful with what you say to me. You're going to regret being this rude, and you'll wish that you could take it back when it's too late.
Why should I take care with what I say to you? You're just a gold digger. I can say whatever I like to someone like you. Do you want to know why? It's because someone with your background doesn't have the power to stop me. You say that I'm going to regret this? As if. What can you do to make me apologize? Nothing!
I understand the love you have for your only son, and wanting the best for him, including the best partner, but that doesn't mean that you can talk to people however you want. You were rude enough to insult me and my father the minute I walked through your door, and now you've gone out of your way to contact me online just to continue your verbal abuse. It's pathetic. And you really consider yourself a part of the higher end of society? As an elite? Don't make me laugh.
And you wouldn't, since you're not one of us. We have pride in being elites, and we have a duty to uphold our reputation. If I let Troy marry you, it would mean the end of that reputation. Especially now that I know your father didn't even go to high school. An embarrassment like that has to be avoided at all costs.
Excuse me? How did you even find out about that? My dad's never told you that, and I've never told Troy either. How did you find out about my dad's education? And about my dad being a single parent? It seems like Troy never told you, so how did you know?
I guess it's difficult for a poor person like you to understand. Rich people have their own ways of finding information that someone like you could never dream of. It must be a shock, but this is proof that you would never have made it in our family.
Enough with the derogatory comments. Would you hurry up and tell me how you found out about my dad? You're starting to creep me out.
You? Ordering me around? God, you even sound uneducated. But I'll tell you, it's easy for me to hire someone to investigate someone like you. Money makes the world go round, and having a lot of money myself, I could do whatever I want. I have the sort of education that you can only dream of, and with it I can have a career that's out of your reach, and money that you'll never get. Once someone is born into the lowly circumstances you're stuck with, they can never escape it. The only life you'll ever know is lacking in financial stability, lacking in good education, and wanting of good morals.
You really sound like you're enjoying this. But I'm warning you, I'm going to report everything you've said to my dad.
Do whatever you like. I doubt that he can ever do anything to me. Oh, and maybe it was difficult for an idiot like you to understand, but the engagement is off. You're not marrying my son. I'm not going to allow you to marry into our family, not now and not ever. We've all been to top universities in our country. Why should we let someone like you get in our way?
I never imagined that my own fiancé's husband would cancel the engagement, but I'm not upset by it at all. If anything, I'm relieved. The only thing I'm disappointed about is that your son wasn't the man I thought he was. Now I know what he's really like. I don't want to marry him. I've already told him that I don't want to marry him myself. I'm not interested in becoming family with someone who thinks that he can insult people based on their education. And he didn't even try to defend me while you were shouting abuse at me. He was too afraid to argue back to you. When I saw that he wasn't even going to try and come between us, I lost all of my feelings for him. It made me wonder why I even fell in love with him in the first place.
Our family has a strong bond. Of course he wouldn't talk back to me for a woman like you. He knows better than that. It takes an education to teach people who they should really side with. And he made the right choice by not defending you. We don't need someone like you disrupting our family bond.
I told you I have no intention of marrying your son anymore. So there's no need for you to talk down to me like that.
I made the right choice by hiring that private investigator to look into you and your family.
What?
I found out a lot of interesting things about you. I didn't want some random woman making her way into my son's life and getting her dirty hands on our money. I should have been more wary and stopped him from even dating a woman like you. But at the very least, I managed to stop him from ruining his life by marrying you.
You actually went out of your way to investigate us? Wow, you're so committed. So you really think that your family's reputation is worth that much effort to protect? You must think very highly of yourself.
Of course I do. Our family is special. We have dignity, unlike people like you. The private investigator informed me that your father didn't even go to high school. There's no way that I can let you start a family with our Troy knowing that you're going to mix your uneducated blood into our family. You're not marrying Troy, and that's final.
Well, my dad says that you're fired.
What?
I'm tired of talking to you, so I've already told him everything that you've said to me. At first, I was willing to just accept breaking off the engagement because Troy and I were probably just not meant for each other. And I was willing to ignore how rude you had been to me when I visited. But you've gone too far, Mason. You said too much about me and my dad, and now we're both furious. My dad's shocked that you could be so discriminatory and has decided he doesn't want you working in his company anymore.
What the hell are you talking about? He can't do anything to me. He's just a middle school graduate. He doesn't have the power to fire me.
Listen to me, Mason. You're working in the company that my dad founded after he graduated from middle school. He's your employer, asshole.
What did you say?
Let me correct myself. You're not even working in his company. You're working in some distant child company that doesn't even have much affiliation with him.
What are you talking about?
You don't even know what he looks like, do you? The CEO of your parent company? You wouldn't, because you don't have any reason to. Since you're not even a manager of any kind, you're just a simple office worker. But you should have gotten his picture when you investigated us, right? How about you look up the CEO of the company you're working for? I think you'll recognize him, because he'll have the same face as the man in the picture who you got from your PI.
What? You're kidding.
I'm not. Look it up and see for yourself. If you take a look at the company homepage, you'll find my dad's picture.
It's true. It really is the same picture. No way. Your father is the CEO of our parent company?
That's why I warned you not to insult my dad. So, how does it feel to be fired by the very guy that you were insulting for being beneath you and inferior to you? Is it embarrassing? Do you feel humiliated? I hope so, because you definitely deserve it.
Wait a minute. Is this really true? Are you the CEO's daughter? But why? I didn't know. I didn't know about any of this. The investigator never told me that your father owned a company, let alone the company that I work at.
What, did the PI only tell you that my dad was a middle school graduate? That's a shame. You must have wasted a lot of money to get that lousy information. But even if you didn't know, nothing's going to change my dad's mind. You should just give up and work on fixing your manners and finding another job.
I'm very sorry.
What?
I apologize for being so rude towards you and the CEO. I got ahead of myself and made a lot of unpleasant remarks that hurt you and your father. It was because I didn't know who you really were. If I did, I wouldn't have said that. I really regret my actions towards you, and I hope that you'll find it in your hearts to forgive me. Please let me apologize. I'm sincerely extremely sorry. It was unacceptable for me to speak to you like that.
It's too late for you to start apologizing now. The damage has already been done. Besides, we're not interested in accepting your apology.
Please don't say that. I really didn't mean to insult you like that. Please, hear me out. It was the investigator's fault. They must have made a mistake and sent me the wrong information. I didn't mean to be so rude to you, okay? You've got to believe me.
Oh, really? Then how about the lies about you going to university? I think I'm correct when I say you didn't go at all. But I guess you're trying to say that you didn't mean to lie about that as well.
What?
We already know the truth, Mason. We know that you haven't actually been to university. You lied about being a high school graduate.
I can't believe what you're saying. I went to university. I went to one of the top universities in the country. That's why I got the job at your father's company, because of my degree.
You should be ashamed of yourself. You were putting yourself on a pedestal, declaring that you were better than everyone else because of your higher education. But in actual fact, you've never been to university. You're a high school graduate. My father had you investigated and found out everything for me.
What? You investigated me?
You're just a family of vain liars. Or rather, you're the vain one. You are trying to present yourself as a superior, important man with a reputation to uphold, but you were lying about everything. To your own family, too.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't lied about anything.
Of course you know what I'm talking about. You should know yourself whether you've been to university or not. There's no point lying to us anymore. My dad's already had you investigated by a PI because he was worried about the type of person you were.
Huh? You hired a private investigator as well?
Yeah, we found out that you're a high school graduate and that you lied about your education to get into my dad's company. My dad had no intention of getting in the way of my engagement to Troy. He just wanted to know what kind of person you were. He trusted my judgment and was willing to ignore what you had done as long as I really did want to marry Troy. He was going to give his blessing for the marriage, but apparently he's changed his mind. He's angry that you could be so insulting and that you spoke to me like that, and has decided that he wants you gone. He's the CEO after all. He can't ignore that you faked your CV to get into his company.
You already know that much. I never would have imagined that I would be investigated by someone else. I thought that I could hide the truth.
If you're able to investigate someone else, you should keep in mind that someone might be investigating you too. By the way, the PI that you hired was someone that my dad knows. You should know that he has a lot of influence over a lot of local business.
What? He knows the investigator I hired?
Yeah, the PI kindly let him know that he was his next target. So my dad asked him to keep his current position under wraps and chose what information they could leak to you. He wanted to see how you would react to the information you had been given.
What? So you tricked me? So then I was just dancing to your tune without knowing it? Then it's not my fault that I reacted like that. You did it on purpose to make me look like the bad person. We've both done wrong in this situation, so why can't you just overlook what happened? Let's forget about all this.
No way, you must be joking. The second you found out about my dad being a middle school graduate, you hated me before you even met me. And then when I went to visit you with Troy, you looked down on me and insulted me. I don't want to have anything to do with you. I didn't know that my dad had investigated you until I told him everything you said, but I'm grateful that he did. I know that he was just thinking about me, and in the end, he didn't use that as a reason to try and get me to cancel the engagement. But you did.
But it's not my fault. If I had known that you were the CEO's daughter, I never would have said any of this. I would never have disrespected you the way that I did to you both if I knew that he was my boss. I didn't know, so I didn't mean it. You've got to forgive me.
Even if my dad wasn't the CEO of your company, you should never have spoken to me like that. You're the lowest of the low for demeaning me like that. Just because you found out that my dad didn't go to high school. You're obviously not fit to call yourself a father, since you've ruined the chance of a happy future your son might have had, and for lying to him about your own education. Plus, you're going to be fired, and won't be able to support your own family, despite priding yourself for being so well off.
Please wait. You can't do this. You're gonna ruin my life for nothing. I haven't done anything wrong. Tell me what I've done to deserve this.
You still don't understand what you've done? I've already told you enough, so why don't you look back on what you've said to me this past hour and think about it? I don't want to have anything more to do with you or your son, so don't try to contact me again. If you'll excuse me, I've got better things to do.
Wait a minute. I'll give you my blessing. You can marry my son.
Were you even listening to me?
My son says that he still wants to marry you. If I'll let you marry him, so please. He's told me that he's sorry and he wants to get back together, hasn't he? Why don't you? Just forget about everything I said to you today and make up with my son. You were both happy to marry him up until now. Are you going to let a few bad hours change that? Are you really that cold? Just marry him. If that's what you want to do, I won't stop you anymore. I didn't mean anything I said, so if you'll just forgive me.
You're getting on my nerves, Mason, you and your son. There's no way I'll be able to forget what you said to me today, and there's no way I want to marry your son. I've already saved screenshots of the conversation we've had online, and I've already shared them with my dad. And I don't love your son anymore. It's as simple as that. He didn't even try to stop you or try to defend me. And if anything, he was telling me that I needed to be careful the night before we went to visit you. I've already told him that I'm not interested in forgiving him and that we're never getting back together.
You can't do that. What am I supposed to do? I'm going to lose my job. How am I supposed to tell my family? They'll never forgive me.
Oh, yeah, about that. I already told Troy that you lied to him and your family about being a university graduate.
What?
Your entire family knows that you've been lying this entire time. It seems like they're pretty disappointed. Good for you. Now you don't have anything to hide from them. Anyway, I'm leaving now. Don't ever contact me ever again. I don't want to become family with someone like you. So I'm never coming back. Goodbye! After that, Mila ignored all of Mason's messages and calls. She officially broke off the engagement with Troy and let her parents know that she wasn't going to marry him. Mason's managers found out from Mila's father that he had been lying about his education and was fired immediately after. His entire family lost all trust in him when they found out the reasons behind him losing his job. He had been so wary of Mila damaging his reputation and had always been a very proud man, so he was even more embarrassed when they heard that he had never been to university. Troy blamed his father for everything that had happened between Mila and himself and didn't think to look back on his own faults before cutting ties with Mason. Mason's wife announced that she wanted a divorce, and Mason has been attempting to convince her to take him back, without much success. They were calling themselves an elite, well-off family, but in the end, they've lost the strong bond that Mason believed they had and have all ended up living alone. Mila was relieved that she didn't have to marry a man with such a pretentious family, and was even thankful for Mason's treatment for helping her realize that she was making a mistake.
I just want to let you know that all of that money is going to belong to me in the end. So all of you and your family, don't get your hopes up, okay? I promise to at least give him a good funeral to make up for taking it all from myself. What? Miley, what is all of this about? And what did you just mean by all of that? I just meant what I said is all. Have you started to forget how to read and understand English or something? I have no plans of giving you guys any of the money your brother has left behind. Your brother is no longer of this world, and that means you all have nothing to do with me anymore. Since you're all complete strangers, I'm not going to hand anything over. In other words, what you're saying is, a lot of money was left over by my brother, and you're wanting access to it all? That's what you're going on about? You don't want to share it, is that what you're saying? That's what I'm saying, yes. I heard that you aren't that smart at all, even though your brother happened to become a doctor of all people. And I can see right now you are just as stupid as he mentioned. Are you sure you're not mentally challenged in some way? Don't start making me repeat everything I say to you over and over again. Wait, hold on a second. Is this really you, Miley? For some reason, this Miley who I'm talking with now is completely different from the person I'd known before. I never expected her to be someone who could say such awful things to other people about themselves. I'm a bit shocked by all of this, and that's why it's hard for me to say anything at the moment. And that's why I was saying what I said. I had married into my husband's family, and he wanted me to play nice with everyone in it. And so I went ahead and got along with all of you, making myself look all kind and whatnot. But now that he's no longer around, I'm going to cut ties to every single one of you. And I'll be doing so with no restraint at all. Huh? Now I see. So this whole time you just had a mask on is all, right? That's exactly right. So from now on, would you please stop thinking about me as your family? Understood. What is this about there being an entrance fee now? We still happen to be my brother's family, you know. I understand that, but I am his wife still. I'm the one in charge of who can come into this funeral and who can't, meaning there is no say in it for you. So if you'd all like to be a part of this funeral today, you all have to pay me a lump fee of $50,000. If you're not able to pay me that much, then you guys will not be able to take part in this funeral today. Are you really asking that from us right now? This is everyone's very last chance to see my brother's face before he's buried. I have been with my brother ever since I was born. I would really like to take one last look at his face before having to say goodbye to him forever. What? So now you're going to beg with tears now, huh? Well, that sort of thing doesn't work on me, so, So, I was the one your brother chose to marry, okay? And that means whatever I say goes. You are so mean, Miley. I seriously never thought that someone like you could be that rotten deep down. Shut up and bring me that money now. There's no way we'd do that for you. Are you sure you even understand what you're even doing here? Because you're about to become a complete stranger to this whole entire family of his. Is that really something you want right now? I've been telling you that's what I want this whole time. How much longer are you going to try forcing me to be a part of your family? All right then, I understand. Well, if you do, get the hell out of here. And don't you guys ever come around me again. Sure, that's the plan from now on. Now, we're all going to head home. Goodbye forever, Miley.
Cam, it's been a long time since we'd last talked. I'm your older brother's good friend Jay, in case you didn't already know that. There's a few things that I'd like to chat with you about, so when you have the time, please get back to me.
Jay! Oh, long time no see. Of course I knew it was you since I still have your number in my phone. Although the last time I ever saw and spoke to you was when we had lunch together a year or two ago, right?
Yeah, I think that was the last time. I've had a lot more work lately, and I've been so busy with that, which left me no time to come and see all of you guys, so I'm sorry about that.
Is that why you haven't been around much? That really sucks. So then, does you messaging me again like this after so long mean that you know?
I've heard. It's something I feel so terrible for and wanted to express my sincerest sympathies to all of you about. I had actually thought I'd be seeing you all yesterday, but it sounded like you and your family were all missing from the funeral, right?
Ah, so you actually went to the funeral, did you? Actually, all of my family showed up to be there, but, well, my brother's wife was there. I don't want to say that there's anything wrong with that woman, but she told all of us that we had to pay an entrance fee to get into the funeral.
What? Wait. What the hell do you mean? When it comes to the funeral, isn't it the whole family who's holding it for the deceased? Would there ever be a family who doesn't show up to say goodbye to one of their own?
You'd think there couldn't be, which is why this was so unbelievable for us as well. But she told us that we wouldn't be allowed in unless we paid. And, well, we didn't just pay. We told her that if that's really how she wanted to behave at her husband's funeral, then that was fine and we wouldn't have any part of it.
What kind of money was she asking for, though? Is that even something someone like her should be doing?
She told us that if we wanted to go in and say goodbye to my brother, we had to pay her $50,000. And that we'd have to pay it all together on that day.
$50,000? Is she messed up in the head or something?
It really seems that she is. And that's why my parents and I gave up on it right then and there. So we left and went back home and mourned my brother without being able to see his face one last time. Seems that his wife really wants all of his money all to herself. We had no plans of talking about that while we were there anyway, but she did say to us all that she would be cutting ties right then and there. If that's what she really wants to do, then we decided to let her be.
I see. I always thought there was something up with that woman from the very start. But now I know there are a ton of things wrong with her. Well, if that's the case, then this conversation is going to be a whole lot quicker for me. I've made up my mind now. I'm going to make sure to give you all everything you wanted on her, okay?
What are you talking about, Jay?
There was another reason for me getting in touch with you today, Cam. It has to do with that wife of your brother's, and something that goes along with what you and your parents asked me to do a long time ago.
What? I'm not sure what you mean. Does this all have to do with what you found?
Well, in some parts, yes, but thankfully she was never able to find out about me and never noticed me at the funeral. Luckily, your brother helped too by going to work a lot before he passed, so I got a lot of details now. But man, was I worried yesterday that she'd notice me from somewhere and confront me on it. But of course she never did, because it's not like she'd care about someone of my likes anyway, right?
Is that right? Then what's this all about? I'm still confused as to what these details are, Jay.
You just told me how she was trying to get all that money out of you and your family, right? Well, there was a reason behind why she asked for $50,000.
Wait, what do you mean?
And also, the one who should really be paying up right now is her of all people.
Jake, can you please elaborate a bit more for me about all of this? Excuse me? What is going on here? All my brother left behind for me was $400,000 worth of debt that I now have to pay off. Oh, is that right? Well then, good luck with paying all that off. Remember, you didn't want to share any of that inheritance with the rest of us. So make sure to pay it all off by yourself. I knew there was something up with you not crying about getting nothing from him. In other words, you knew this would happen and forced me to take it all for myself, right? Hey, what kind of bullcrap is that? I never said anything at all about that sort of thing and was just going along with everything you were saying, right? You were the one that told me you wanted all of his money, right? My family and I thought that if you wanted it so much that you could have it, and never said anything about how you had to take it all for yourself. So if anything, you were the one forcing us not to take it, right? Forcing you all not to? What the hell does that mean? We all never wanted for you to take on all $400,000 of that debt because we all felt bad for you. And the plan was for all of us to take on that debt in order to help you out the best we could. But you came out of nowhere being all greedy about how it was all going to be yours, all of that debt, and so... What? You guys were going to help me pay off all this debt? Well, we were, but then you started acting like you already knew about it since you were acting so tough, wanting all of the inheritance and all my brother was leaving. And then at the funeral, you made it even more clear to us that you didn't want for our help when asking for $50,000 in order to let us in to see my brother one last time. Originally, we had all thought about talking to you about the debt at the funeral in case there was a chance you didn't know about it. But, you know, you kind of stopped that from happening. What? You guys plan to talk to me during the funeral? That's right. Yet with all of that in mind, you went and blocked all of us from coming inside. You made it very clear to us that we were like your enemy in some ways and that you would do anything you could to make sure we couldn't touch what my brother had left behind. And in the end, we decided to let you be since you seemed to have everything under control. Are you being serious right now about that? In other words, what you're saying is that I never noticed your guys' intentions when coming and I chose a path that would lead to my own destruction? Yep, that's what it looks like to us. We were all there to lend you one last hand paying off all that debt, but instead you chose to do something completely different from what we expected. All because of some crazy fantasy you were having. No way. I never meant for this to happen. As for us, we were never given one last chance to say goodbye to my brother and didn't get to say any last words to him. All because of your greed and pride. even though the time that we had spent with my brother was way longer than the time you went and spent with him. Instead of thinking about the feelings of his whole entire family and what they wanted, you chose to think only about what you wanted, and that was what you thought to be my brother's money. You really are the worst, Miley. And now all of us will not be forgiving you ever again for that. I'm really sorry. I didn't think things would turn out like this after doing all of that. I mean, my husband was a doctor of all people. I assumed that he'd have so much money left over in his bank accounts for me to have. To see he was in this much debt now? How could this have happened to him? In order to become a doctor, one must spend a whole ton of money for the education and all. And yet my brother, being as ignorant as ever, assumed that he'd be able to pay off all of that debt the moment he became a doctor, and spent most of his time during school playing around and spending tons of money. He also chose to start his own clinic after he had graduated, which alone cost him millions, having to buy his own place and all of the machinery and furnishings for the place. And in the end, he was left in a lot of debt, which he was able to pay most of off, but not all of it. He was always the kind of person to think about things in a short-term manner and never thought about the outcomes in the long term. I'm sure now you're wishing he had been the other way around and focused more on what would come in the future ahead, instead of just how things have been right now. No way, I never knew he was like that. I mean, he was always working, right? He should have been making so much that he could have kept in his savings or something. He would always buy me these really expensive and high-end brands for my birthday, too. There was never a moment where I doubted him and his finances. And like I'd said, he only ever cared about the moment. To him, that meant he just assumed he'd pay off all the debt he was getting into one day. Sure, he was making a lot of money as a doctor for a little while there, but even with all that money, it wasn't enough for the tremendous amount of debt he'd gotten himself into. No way. I'll apologize, so will you guys please come back here and help me? There's no way for someone like myself to be able to pay all of this debt off. I've always been a housewife for your brother, and even if I were able to get a part-time job, I'd never be able to make enough. Currently, the house I'm in is being paid for with a loan as well, and we're just about to pay it all off. Which means the only money we do have is meant for me to do that with. There's no way for me to pay off that debt he's left me with, so please, as family, you all please do something about this. Do you really think that we'd still be interested in helping you just because you're the one asking now? Weren't you the one who also told me that we have nothing to do with you anymore and that you'd be cutting ties to us? And I said that I'd apologize for saying that. Let's just forget about that all ever even happening. I mean, you're all the ones related to one another by blood, right? I shouldn't have to be the one paying off all this debt he left behind. And it's not like I knew he was in so much debt anyway. I just wanted the money to help me out with my new life as a widow now. Right now, there's nothing that I can do to avoid being ruined. And I'm saying that has nothing to do with us now. Not only are we all not related to you by blood in any way, but you said it yourself that you didn't want us around anymore as your in-laws. So no matter how hopeless things are for you or how sad you are, we don't care. Everything that's happened to you now was done by you alone, so you figure out how to manage all of that by yourself now. And I'm saying that that's impossible for me right now. This is all the debt that your brother got into, right? Well, I'm telling you to do something about all of it right now. Really? Getting all upset at me now over something you did to yourself? What a baby. So let me get this straight. If he had left behind loads of money, that would all become yours, but when it's all a bunch of debt he's left behind, it should somehow become my problem? Doesn't make any more sense when I say it to myself, even. Wow. Nice try there, but everything you just said to me there only proves you're a greedy jerk. But Kim, if all of this was going to happen to me, then I would have been better off never marrying him. Saying things like that to us now is only making yourself look worse. Your marriage was something that you chose to let happen and something you chose to show off to the world, which means you now have to take responsibility for all of it. Trying to make others take responsibility for that all isn't something someone your age should be doing, Miley. Why not, Cam? If I can't get any help, then what the hell am I supposed to do here? By the way, I'm cutting ties to you all, and never show your face around me again came out of you, right? Yet now you're the one coming to me for help and asking me what you should be doing. Honestly, it's a mystery how someone like you even made it as far as marrying a doctor or anything like that. If you've cut ties to us, then you leave me out of this and figure it out yourself. Well, I can't figure it all out myself, and that's why I'm asking for your help. Please. You all have money, don't you? And this whole time you've been all on your own making things happen, right? That means you of all people have to have a lot of money on you right now. Well, even if I did have a lot of money right now, none of it would be going to a pile of crap like you, Miley. I don't want to have someone of your pathetic likeness to have my money in your hands. Especially when you went and stabbed my own brother in the back, you asshole. What? Stabbed him in the back? What are you talking about? Let me just say that we already know about everything that's happened there. About how you always went to that male strip club and went back there recently to start giving more and more money to one of the men you liked. You've had relations with that man even still while married to my brother for so long. What? Wait. What are you going on about? I never did anything like that while your brother had been around. Now, would you stop saying such nonsense at a time like this about me? That's what I'd like to be asking you. How could you marry someone like my brother and take all of his money from him like that to use on another man at a strip club you used to always go to, even going and sleeping with him from time to time while my brother was working the night shift? That right there makes you the worst woman ever, and you are so bad now that I have nothing else to say to you. I just told you to stop saying things like that about me. What the hell makes you even think I ever went and did all of that? Especially when your brother isn't even around anymore. Do you really think saying things like that about me, making me look bad, is going to be left unchecked by me? Sure, all right then. My brother's dead now, which means that he'll never know about what had happened to him. But that's even more reason as to why my family and I are working so hard to make sure you pay for what you'd done to my brother while he was alive. We knew some of this was going on while he was still around, but we didn't want him to die knowing that his wife was unfaithful to him, and wanted him to be happy instead as he left this world. Huh? What is even going on here? Why are you even bothering with me then? How come you all knew, but not him? He told us one time that he felt something off about you, but really didn't know what it was. And my family, wanting what was best for him, hired someone to take a further look into you while he'd be working and such. What? You hired someone to follow me? What are you going on about now? My family happened to know someone close to my brother who also happens to work for the police. And, well, we asked him to take a look at what was going on with you when he was out working, and so he did just that for his friend's sake. He gathered a lot of evidence that would help us help my brother get a divorce from you. But before any of that could happen, that terrible accident happened to my brother, and he was left with only weeks to live. You're lying, right? You guys were gathering evidence of all of it? Are you really telling me something like that right now? You really think I'd be lying to you about all of these things right now? Anyway, we have all the evidence that we can show to you now. And what we plan to do next is sue both of you for what you'd done to my brother. One other thing. We looked at my brother's phone after the crash and found that he'd received a couple of messages from the man you'd been with from the strip club. And it seems he was telling my brother to divorce you and let him have you. And he said that if he didn't do that the day before the accident, he'd kill my brother. Well, what do you know? That following day, my brother was hit in a hit-and-run case where we still weren't able to find the driver after. So there's a very high chance it was your man who did this to my brother and ended up killing him not too long after. That frickin' idiot! Why the hell would he say things like that before doing it? We were never told about it by my brother, but he did say to his friend, the detective, that he was being targeted and wanted to know what to do. Maybe your man assumed that my brother being a doctor meant he had too much money to want to sue him for taking you away. Well, your man just so happened to be more mentally challenged than you thought, huh? I mean, he is working as a stripper after all. What an absolute dumbass. You have to be lying right now. So that was the reason for everything? There's no way something like that could have actually happened between those two. Well, in terms of the timing, it all makes too much sense. And even if he wasn't the one who murdered my brother, you both are still in trouble. From now on, my family will be making sure you both pay for all of that with the help of the law, so be ready for that. You wanted us to help you pay off all that debt? Shut the hell up and focus on paying us the settlements we ask for first. You're going to pay everything off all by yourself and then apologize to all of us on your hands and knees. I get it. All right, I get it. I am really, and I mean really sorry for everything that I did. I've learned my lesson now after being shown everything I'd done wrong, all right? So would you please just overlook everything that's happened between that man and I? I bet you guys thought you were so lucky that you'd be able to get whatever my brother might have left behind after he died, right? You probably were thinking that you could use all that money you thought he would have left to continue having fun with it for the rest of your lives, while living in the house that he planned to pay off, right? That was never something we thought about. Stop that, please. Don't make us look like complete animals or anything. Your brother is dead now, and so there's no reason to be talking about his money or his debt anymore. All you're going to do is make everything worse for all of us, and that's no good, right? Okay, I'm not going to ask for you guys to help me out with the debt anymore. So can you all just leave me alone now? For someone who is all up and at it, looking to pick a fight with my family, you've really gone and tucked that tail in deep between your legs trying to scurry away, right? You've really done a great job not only ruining our lives with your greedy and toxic behavior, but you cost my brother his life with it too. You were right that my family has a lot of money right now, and we plan to use it on a lot of lawyers that can help us with you. We are going to make sure you take full responsibility for what you've done. And then both you and that man of yours from the strip club can go rot in hell once we're all done with you. I hope you're ready for that.